Who am I? This is the question everyone has probably asked themselves. You ask yourself this, and in all likelihood, you start panicking because you feel as if you don't know the answer. Honestly, you don't know who you are or who you want to be. I mean, yes, you all know that we are all creatures, we are creations of God. Each one of us is a creation that is flawed in vital ways. However, when I say this, you may ask yourselves again, if we are all creatures of God, then what truly makes each one of us different? What makes me, me? This is where identity plays a role. This may seem like a really easy term for you, but the truth is that it has so much more meaning than you could actually imagine. Personal identity is the concept you develop about yourself that evolves over the course of your life. This may include some aspects of your life that you can't control, such as where you were born, where you grew up, your skin tone, as well as all the choices you make in your life. As you grow older, you will start realizing that shaping your identity and becoming who you want to be is one of the most important things in life. You will become aware that your identity will start influencing the way you dress, the way you interact with other people, the way you see the world, etc. Trying to be true to yourself may be exciting. You just have to keep in mind the things that are at risk, such as your emotional, physical, and psychological development. What makes up the core of human identity? This is a really hard question that most people will answer by saying the things you like, the things you don't like, etc. Nevertheless, there's so much more things aside from those. For example, your culture, your nationality, your gender, your sex, religion, ethnicity, or even sexual identity. Your sexual orientation plays a huge role in your life. Whether you're straight, bisexual, gay, lesbian, transgender, etc., it's okay. Nowadays, it's more acceptable to be something other than straight, which has definitely changed the lives of millions of people who are going through this type of situation in their lives. The thing is that in some countries, it is not seen as something good if someone isn't straight. Let's use as an example a gay boy. Every time this boy goes out with his partner, they both will meet with ugly stares. They may be called names, or in the worst of cases, be attacked. Having to go through all this type of stuff will obviously affect their emotions. They can feel sad, depressed, lonely, judged, hurt, angry, or even suicidal. Having a definite sexual orientation can definitely affect the way you feel. You can have a lot of mixed feelings. They can be good or bad. The most prominent emotion is obviously love, but aside from that, you can feel sadness, fear, or joy, depending on whether you actually care about how society visualizes you. As I said before, religion forms part of your identity. Most of the time, it helps you shape who you want to be. It has several ideals or rules, and allegedly the way you dress is really important for some religions, such as Muslims. Religions like this are more conservative and most of the time enforce rules regarding to the clothing. Women are supposed to wear hijabs and really covered clothing for the rest of their body. The way you dress is clearly a huge part of your physical appearance. It is the cover in which people judge you by. They oftentimes show a bit of your personality. For example, if you're a more shy or conservative person, you will use more proper clothing, more covered. On the other hand, if you're a more audacious person who isn't ashamed of anything, then you will probably use more open clothing like short skirts, open, tight shirts, or dresses. When we are born, we're not born with a set of values or expectations, so we start learning them from our parents or any other adult who raises us, primarily. We learn not only through these adults teaching us, we learn by example and by observing. Parents directly teach their children values. They tell them what's right or wrong. They help them be educated when it comes to their religion. They teach them how to interact with people. They impose rules and expectations. They basically indoctrinate and socialize their children. Children watch their parents interact with others, make choices, and this impacts how they develop their moral self. Spending so much time with your family or friends can impact the way you feel about things. For example, if your parents kept on saying that drinking alcohol is wrong and that it is against the rules, then you will start questioning and judging people that drink alcohol. You will feel as if they are the ones doing something wrong, and you will feel this way just because you have this idea that your parents inculcated in you. After listening to your family for such a long time, it will be long before you start thinking just like them. Nonetheless, you are the one that decides the way you see things. You can reject your parents' values or keep them. At the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your life. Finding who you truly are is one of the most hardest tasks. It may take your whole life to have a final sense of who you are. It may even influence your emotional, physical, or psychological development as a human. Your identity may influence the way you feel about certain situations. It may even help you decide how you want to be seen by the rest of the world, most importantly, how you see yourself. And it can enable you to have a different view or perspective of many things. We are all heavily influenced by a huge variety of things, but something everyone should know is that they should always stay true to themselves. No one should ever neglect the way they feel, the way they think, or look just because they want to please the rest of the society. The only way to truly define who we are or who we want to be is if we put ourselves as the loudest voice out of all. Even though finding your true identity may seem risky, believe me, it's worth it, because your identity is what makes you different from everyone else. And as Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment.